but towards the end, as you have yourself said, admitted rather, that the doctors, they need to look after their health as well while treating the patients. And my question is, and it is also the societal concern, that the doctors, who you yourself say that they spend 5 years at the medical college, then 5 years doing the house job, and then another 5 years, but still, when they treat the patients, when they handle the living ones, one, and two, when they handle the dead bodies of the victims of violence, say for example the cases like Shipayan, the victims of sexual violence. So the doctors handling the living and the dead leave many things to be desired. So how, my question, because we have to come to the specifics, what changes would you like to suggest to be made at the societal level so far as the medical education is concerned? Is there something lacking that the doctors, they are not, I mean, then maybe fully trained and equipped? What the doctors need to do to heal themselves? That's my question.
You see, I totally agree with it there. There are deficiencies in our curriculum. For instance, an MBBS doctor who is just struggling, after 1 or 2 years is absorbed in the medical this, and he becomes an assistant surgeon. He is posted in this, and after 5 years he becomes a district medical officer or anything of the sort. But in his training, what he lacks is number 1, public relation, number 2, forensic medicine. The medicine which deals with all the aspects of what is happening, what has happened in Shupian. A young doctor cannot conduct a post-mortem because he is not exposed to them. Because it is difficult. I have been principal of the medical college for 18 years, and I know how many post-mortems were conducted by our department. None. The Kashmiri Mussalman thinks that post-mortem should not be done. He accepts that. And doctors are not performing post-mortem because it doesn't come. While you go out, Chandigarh, everybody who dies in the hospital, his post-mortem is done to find out the cause. So if a doctor becomes proficient. So when a young doctor or a postgraduate is posted somewhere in Pulwama or Shupian, suddenly a mob of 10,000 with a dead body comes, tell him to perform the. His hands are shivering, he has not seen a dead body or other things. What will he do? Because he has not been trained. The government should have a forensic department for such things. They should not expose doctors to this. Doctors are there to help because it's all wrong. If I want somebody to go, High Court will call me, I'll tell them what they are doing. And doctor बेचारा उस बेचारे को या बेचारी को पता ही नहीं होता कि क्या है क्या नहीं है. They are not even done a internal examination.
Thank you very much, sir. Before we conclude this session, before Honorable Vice Chancellor speaks something, let me go with permission of Vice Chancellor through the pages of Kashmir as it was by Frank's young husband. This needs a very serious attention. With permission, of course, I will go through it and very quickly, and then I leave it to everybody to judge. This is Dr. Nees Hospital, which is now known as Jawaharlal Nehru Memorial Hospital. Conspicuous above the European quarter stand the group of buildings known all over Kashmir as Dr. Nees Hospital, a mission hospital, which with Mr. Bisco's school is the most sincerely appreciated of all the efforts which Europeans have made for the welfare of the Kashmir people. Last year, no less than 22,735 new outpatients were treated, and the total number of visits amounted to 56,280. 1,764 Inpatients, of whom 476 were females, were also treated, and 5,038 surgical operations were performed, sometimes over 200 outpatients, and on few days over 300 outpatients were treated in a single day. These figures speak for themselves. They show the confidence the people now have in the wonderful institution and the steady practical good it's doing. The heads of the hospitals are the brothers, Doctors Arthur and Ernest Nee, and they are assisted by Dr. Rollins, Ms. Nee, Mr. Robinson, Mr. S. Wilson, and 54 native assistants and servants. The hospital was founded in 1865, that's exactly 140 years now, by Dr. Something, who is for many years had uphill work in starting the institution, but at length gained the confidence of the people and of late Maharaja Dr. Downes, succeeded Dr. Ilmi and carried the work forward. In 1881, Dr. Nevi took it up. In that year, 10,800 new patients were treated. There were 23,393 visits and 1,418 operations were performed. Year by year, since then, the good work has progressed. The original mud buildings have gradually been replaced by the present solid masonry structures, and the steady growth of the number of inpatients and the readiness with which even upper class women remain in the hospital testify to the confidence with which the institution is now regarded. It is now renowned throughout the north of India and is splendid testimony to the steady, thorough and preserving work of two self-sacrificing.
Gilani Sahab, the main topic of my discussion, we didn't reach. You took me only into my personal life and other things. We had come here for this history of
medicine.
And
That's
medical
why
care.
I read these
We
excerpts
Kashmiris, from time coming, 103-4 centuries will be indebted to those missionaries who came from all part of globe, and especially Great Britain, to serve here when there was nothing. As I would have talked about the epidemics, the smallpox and cholera, and the epidemic of cholera was very rampant in Kashmir. In one of the epidemics at the close of the 18th century, 19th century, in one day, SRINAGAR city lost 10,000 according to Dr. Neve, but according to other statistics, it was 15,000. And there was, one day there was no person to give sran or kafan. And then Dr. Neve said, I don't know, cholera comes every 3 years, 2 years, 10,000 die. But the rest who survive, I don't know how they survive. Because the basic thing about SRINAGAR was, it was one of the most filthiest place on this earth. Everybody was visited because one of the things that we sleep on shit, we lie on shit, we eat filth, we drink filth. After all, cholera used to be there because everybody has a yarbal, and yarbal there was a srankut, and there was also a latrine. So when you got called, you shitted in the river. A river took away, the water was, there was no water, potable water. You ate and you drank that and you got cholera. And the Britishers, they came, the first thing, they asked the government to have a municipal committee. And he was forced to, after cholera epidemic, the Maharaja, to appoint a small municipal committee to strengthen these yarbals and to not to have place of excrement, and not to eat this, not to eat that. And that has seen that we don't have epidemic of cholera because awareness is there. We used to have epidemics of smallpox, and thousands used to die, thousands used to become maimed, blind. And today we don't get it because we have good immunization against it by doing, and now we have practically eradicated this. So all these things have occurred, and we Kashmiris are indebted to
Great
missionaries.
Thank you very much, sir. We are indebted to have you here, and I feel equally honored, and I feel my person feels I am really indebted, and I feel inches taller. And now I would request Professor Punjabi, Vice Chancellor of the Kashmir University, to conclude this session.
Well, I have nothing more to offer. It is indeed a privilege to have legendary physician of Kashmir, Dr. NASEER.A SHAH, today with us. He definitely is eminent. Rather, he is more than eminent. He combines many qualities. He's been principal of medical college for 18 years, and now as a Vice Chancellor, I look back and wonder how he has managed that college. But I think those were times. And I may tell you that I am not a student of medicine. Of course, my sister, Dr. Razia, he is a Dr. Gija's student. But, friends, Dr. NASEER.A SHAH has been my mentor, and he continues to be a mentor, and I'm proud of that. He is definitely an eminent physician and doctor, but more than that, he is humane, and that quality he has always maintained. You could just walk up to him any time and discuss anything with him. He had a keen eye on social events, cultural events, on literature. But I have never seen him being what you call, quote unquote, sometimes prominent public personalities become, quote unquote, fundamentalists in their approach. They discriminate against one another or have biased views. Devout people would go to him and have the same respect in his affection and his consideration, as would perhaps atheists go and have the same treatment from him. To me, I would say that I'm reminded of a couplet from Iqbal, दरवेश खुदा मस्त शर्की है न गरबी, घर मेरा दिल्ली न सफाहा न समरकंद, कहता हूँ वही बात समझता हूँ जिसे हक, मैं अबलह मस्जिद हूँ न तहजीब का फर्जंद, अपने भी खफा मुझसे हैं बेगाने भी नाखुश, मैं ज़हरे हिलाहल को कभी कह न सका कल. Dr. Saab essentially has been and is a darwish in his heart of hearts. I have never found him pessimistic on anything. He is always optimistic. But one thing, Dr. Saab, we will have to admit that things have changed towards bad, not good.
I know.
The only place which irritated me and caused me anxiety was Government Medical College last year when I came here. And to be honest with you, I was very angry about that college. And I went to my feelings in Dr. Zargar's institute one day when he invited me there. You see, something has gone wrong with doctors. It is not that they are not efficient or they are not competent, but there is some problem of status among doctors. They are perhaps competing with each other for status. And more so when some doctors became ministers and chief ministers, it has ignited the race among doctors. You are right, we can't make everybody a minister or we can't make everybody a director. So this has given rise to a chain of events, and it is very dangerous for our society. I don't know how things are going to change, but as Dr. Naseer Saab is very optimistic, maybe things would change in future. The best in the entire world. You are in the hands of a doctor or a nurse, that's finished with that. You don't need any relative, father, mother, husband to be with you. And I don't know about other things they have. That is the system which I have seen and which I still admire. Although when I go there and consult doctors there, they every time bang me. Why do you come here to bother us? We have such and such man in Delhi, that man in Lucknow, that man in Bangalore. But it's a question of trust which one earns. That is the first thing. Dr. Naseer Saab was saying that, more than in medicine, it is perhaps the interaction the doctor will have with the patient. But unfortunately, we don't have many doctors who have that capacity. Again, our awareness level has gone up, our expectation level has gone up, but government can't treat healthcare as animal husbandry. We don't have facilities in districts. We don't know how to cater to the patients and the people. And so far, I don't see that there is any coherent policy on healthcare in Kashmir. And this, I am sorry to say, would give rise to many tensions in society in future. Anyway, having said that, I thank you, Dr. Saab. You came and spent some moments with us. And I assure you, the way you behaved in University Council to improve medical college, I am doing the same thing. I am following you. I don't care who is in the office or not, what I deem is good for the university. I just remain firm there, and I don't leave my ground so easily.
That's why I told you that I am happy that you are putting your foot down somewhere.
I'm thankful to Dr. Gijaji. She has been with us here, illustrious wife of Dr. Naseer Saab, but a personality and an eminent person in her own right. Wahid Saab, Dr. Roof Saab, Dr. Alakban Saab, Qazi Saab, Dr. Nissar, and other friends who came. Thank you, Dr. Saab, for being with us today.